So about a third of you are missing some of the questions about pavement markings. We got 73% uh, classroom accuracy, but we can do better. So I'm looking at, this is your review. And then in the end, you're going to type in some questions you have. Okay, so let's go ahead and review this. How far should you be away from an airbag? It is 10 inches. 5 is too close, 30 is too far, 50 is too far. It is about 10 inches. 74% of you got that right. More of you should have got that right. That's one thing we reviewed a couple of weeks ago. About how many miles per hour should you drive in a mobile home park? We know 70 is too fast. None of you picked that. 50, one of you picked that. Maybe you're silly. Maybe I don't know. 24 is too fast. 4 of you picked that. And then 13 players picked 50%. So this tells me about a third of you don't understand speed limits in a mobile home park. So that's why you got 72%. If this trend stays true, about 5 of you are missing these questions. I'm looking at data. How many miles per hour should you drive in a plotted subdivision? It's just a trick question. It's not 20 miles an hour. 3 of you picked that. 2 of you picked that. So it's about 72%. 5 of you missed it. So it is 25 miles an hour. So this tells me you guys don't understand that question. This is test prep. This is review. I'm using data. You should be writing these down. And by me going over this, you're going to get more data. And if you're missing these questions, you're probably going to miss it on the test. 56%. So more than 5 of you missed this question. We're looking at a work zone area. How many miles per hour should you drive in a work zone area? We went over this 2 days ago. It is 45 miles an hour. So this tells me either you don't remember or you don't understand. So 8 of you should not have missed this because 15 is too slow, 50 is too fast, 70 is too fast, but no one picked 70. 78% here. How many miles per hour should you drive on the freeway? 45 is too slow. The minimum speed is 55 miles an hour. 34 is too slow. 2 of you picked 45. I don't know if you don't understand the freeway speed limit. 2 of you picked 50. In this particular answer, you've got to answer the question with the best answer. It is 70 miles an hour. So basically, 4 of you missed this question. So I'm looking at trends. Solid yellow line. What does this mean? Do not cross. So 5 of you missed this. So this tells me you don't understand pavement markings. As a teacher, I need to review pavement markings more. William, let me finish to the end, please. And thank you, William. I want to bring you value. I'm looking at data. You have a digital PDF that you can download that is like your study guide. And we want you to understand questions. So William, please hold it to the end. I promise, I will get to it. So you have to know pavement markings. No ifs, ands, or buts, because if you cross a double yellow line, that could mean a ticket, death, or an accident. So we want you to know what the solid yellow line means. Do not cross, do not pass it. Let's keep going. Broken yellow lines. This means you can change lanes. Traffic is moving in the same direction. So 6 of you missed this. So more of you are missing questions on pavement markings. So 2 lanes, I don't understand why you picked that. Some traffic lanes move in opposite directions. That is totally wrong. So this tells me you don't understand pavement markings. I'm going by the numbers that I see. So that's why we got 68%. Let's go to the next one. Solid double. So now we're hitting the same question again, but in a different way. Solid double yellow lines down the middle of 2 lanes. So you need to visualize this when you're taking your test. You have solid double yellow lines, okay? And it's asking you solid lines down the middle. So it's not none of the above. 16 of you picked passing and it's not allowed. So the way this question is written, Many of you think that was it, but one of you, passing is allowed by vehicles traveling in opposite directions. So either the way this question was written was kind of weird, or you guys don't understand that. So 16 of you, actually 17 of you missed it. One got it right. So as an instructor, I got to review that. Okay. Again, hold your question till the end. 100% here, dash yellow lines. You may pass when it's safe to do so. All of you got that right. We're looking at data. That's great. Next, 84% here. If you reach the intersection same time, stay. What should you do? The question is, the driver on the right shall yield to the driver on the left. This tells me most of you, the majority understand it, but 3 students still don't understand rules of the right of way. As an instructor, I need to do more pavement markings. I need to do more rules of the right of way if we're looking at data. Next, you reach an intersection with the flashing yellow arrow. What should you do? This tells me yield to traffic before completing your turn. Yes, we always yield to traffic. If we have the arrow facing us or the light facing us, we have to yield. So most of you understand that. One does not. This is why we got 95%. Next, when approaching a yield sign, what should you do? Slow down and be prepared to stop. One person said none of the above. So either they can't read, they don't understand the question, or you don't understand right-of-way questions. So one of you missed that. 17 of you got it right. 2, through traffic. So traffic is moving through something. 2, through traffic when approaching a merge sign. What should you do? So they're asking you to identify through traffic. Traffic is moving through something. Adjust your speed as necessary to merge safely. That is the correct approach. It's not to get in the lane to the left. A car could be there. So this tells me we don't understand signs. You don't understand what through traffic is. 63%, when you see a white triangle painted across the traffic lane, we went over this on Wednesday. No, we went over this on Tuesday or 2 days ago. This tells me that we don't understand this. It's not none of the above. And some of you pick don't go straight through. You must be prepared to stop and yield to traffic. So this tells me pavement markings, right of way. Stay with me. When driving on a roundabout. So this tells me you don't understand roundabouts. Roundabouts, it says when driving in a roundabout, drive in counterclockwise. You go into a roundabout. You can go in from the opposite side going in. You can go on either side. One goes clockwise. Clockwise is going like this. Counterclockwise is the opposite. So this tells me you don't understand going into a roundabout, what traffic does in the roundabout. You're not sure what happens. So this tells me it could be some confusion or an accident. Again, if you have questions, just hold them to the end. I want to answer them. Solid yellow and double yellow lines are. So it's the same question again. You've had 4 or 5 questions on solid yellow lines. So they're asking what again, solid lines and solid double yellow lines, they mean no passing. So this tells me one person put pass when safe and then none of the above. So this tells me maybe you're speeding through. Adults and teens tend to speed through tests when they're timed. So this tells me you're kind of guessing and not really putting the thought time in because it took 9 seconds. And this is not really a time test. I could change it to 1 minute, a minute and a half. I will probably still have the same score because I've experimented with times with my students. 89% here. Again, a broken yellow line marker means the center of the lane is a 2-way. You may pass when safe. 17 of you got it right. 89%. One of you said merge into the right lane. One of you said no passing. We actually have some signs. You can say, well, it's hard to see. You could always click on it and do this. And this is similar to your PDF download. Diamond, triangle, octagon, pentagon. So if you don't know shapes, you're going to be confused. Everyone type into the chat what this means. What type of sign is that? Everyone type it in. We have the cross. Everyone type that in. I'm going to really see if you know this. Everyone type in number 9. What does this mean? What type of sign is this? All of you should be typing it in right now. I'm really testing you in a different way to see if you really even know this. All of you should know this. This shouldn't even. Okay, number 1. What type of sign is number 1? Type that in right now. All of you type it in. This is a good check for me as an instructor to see if you really know this. An octagon-shaped sign. What type of sign is that? All of you should be typing it in. This is a great review for you. You have to demonstrate to me, and my principal would say, well, how do you know that students really know this? Show me the data. You're showing me the data right now. We don't have to guess. You have to physically show me. Number 4, what does this sign mean? Where do you see it? Now you got to think a little bit. Number 4. Looks like one person only knows it. I like this because you got to demonstrate that you have mastery of this. You can't guess. You can't copy off of someone. So this is a really good question, and all you have to do is click on it. The center of 3-lane road is marked for what? The center of a 3-lane road. So you not only have to understand roads, but they have pavement markings for a reason. One side is the right, one side is the left, one side is the middle. 3-lane. The correct answer for this, and we got 44% here. 2 said no passing at all. 8 said may pass, we're safe. The correct one is left turn only, passing on the right. Granted, that's a little bit hard. We got 44% here. It took you guys an average of 13 seconds. Yield the right of way. This says you must stop, you must go before anyone else, or allow other vehicles to enter the intersection before you. This was the safest possible answer. You got 68%. 6 of you got it wrong. 95%. If you turning left, you may have to. So you're turning left. I don't like the way the language is written. If you turning left, you have to. I don't like how that's worded. It says the correct one is left, you have to yield. That is the correct answer. One of you said left turn, no yield. That's wrong. You always have to yield for traffic. But again, it's worded weird. Sometimes you can have questions that are worded weird. If 2 or more vehicles reach the intersection at the same time, what happens? We looked at a video several days ago about not entering the intersection when 2 vehicles are. So if you remember, I remember, you should remember too. So this means 4 of you got this wrong. The left should yield to a vehicle on the right. We never enter, 2 vehicles should never enter the intersection at one time. Okay, type in what you learned, and then William will answer your question. Type in what you learned. Please do this. All of you type in what you learned. Don't say, oh, it was confusing, bro. Type in what you learned. Every test we learn something. I'm looking at data. I could look at the ones that are correct, incorrect, partially correct, or ungraded, or unattempted, and time out. And really, if we look at tests, they're a bell-shaped curve. And if we look at it, and I'm looking from statisticals only, if I was grading this out, player number 6, player number 3, player number 2, and player number 1, you would be my A's if I was curving it. Or if I really look at it, player number 1 and player number 19, I would throw your scores out because player number 1, you have the highest score. Player number 19, you have the lowest score. And then that would give us a curve. So if you really look at it in statistics, and some of you will have to take that, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 people are on the far left. Then next to the far left, I'm getting the 70s. We have player number 4, player number 5, player number 7, player number 8, player number 9. And if we look at it, player number 10, 11, 12, the average score is probably around 77 to maybe 79%. The next group, we're in the 60% group. And you can see numbers where, yes, I'm going 60s, and these are almost 70s, but I'm going percentage. My next one to the middle of the bell-shaped curve, to the left is the high scores. To the right are the low scores. We have player number 13, 15, 17. And then our last group would be the 59, number 16, and 50. So you kind of see it's a bell-shaped curve. Most of your tests are like that. William, what is your question? Come on, brother.
On the question, well, there was a typo.
What number? Give me the number.
That, I'm not sure. It was the one about like the solid line, but solid was spelled that one.
Hold on. This one?
No. Go back.
This one?
No. No. That one.
Solid yellow lines mean. Okay, go ahead.
Solid was spelt wrong, and I thought it meant like something else.
It's okay, man. Sometimes on tests when they're made, a human types it wrong, or maybe it was typed by a human and it's put into a computer. Sometimes your state test may have the wrong, and sometimes tests have the wrong spelling. It still shouldn't change the meaning of it. It shouldn't. Yes, if this meant you not getting into Harvard or Yale, you could, petition the people who made the test. They would probably say, it's not our fault. But for this case, we got 72%. So I do understand your concern. If it meant that you misunderstood this, I would probably count it, okay? I understand. It happens. D and S are next to each other on the keyboard. As I look at my beautiful gaming keyboard, I understand that. So I'm going to look at what you learned. I thought this was good. I took a deep dive. Many of you appreciate it. Some of you do, some of you don't. This tells me you don't understand pavement markings. And then we need to work on this and really do a good job. I'm looking at what you put. I really need to do a better job of remembering clockwise to counterclockwise. Solid yellow lines mean you can't pass. A broken yellow line you can pass when it's safe. It's got to be clear. It's got to be safe. You can't pass on a hill on a curb because you can't see oncoming traffic. The white triangle, I snuck that in on you just to keep you guessing. That's what I'm supposed to do. You need to know the speed limit in a mobile home park, which is 15. Construction is 45. Residential, max speed is 25. And I'm always trying to get you to think. That's what good instructors do. We can't just lay back. We're going to get one more in a moment. Thank you, William. Okay, give me a moment. I'm going to find one more, maybe on night driving or adverse conditions. That's really going to help you prepare, because as we sit here in the Midwest, it's 7:15 p.m. and it's dark outside. So night driving test prep will be good for you. Winter driving test prep will be good for you. Emergency test driving, driving around trucks would be good for you, because I'm always trying to make the assessment harder so you grow. And then when you take your state test, you're like, this is really easy. And you'll say, thank you. And I'll say, you know what? You worked hard. So give me a second, please. Those of you who are watching need to type in what you learned. We're trying to elevate an actual test and reviewing in live, how do you improve on a test? What do you do to improve? And we want to continue to get better. And that's what good instructors do. We always try to get better and move with accuracy. So the next one is going to be night driving. And we're going to go over this in a moment. I need you to stay with me and put some questions in. Tell me where you're from. Tell me what part of the country that you're in. So it's really important that you understand what's going on. I'd like this. This is a 10-question one. We're going to play this. I don't know if I can show it for legal purposes on this platform, but I can review the questions with you. Yeah, go ahead and go. You're good. Okay, I want to keep it going. Again, bringing you value and making sure we're all learning something. That's why we're here. Okay. I'm going to give all of you a quizzy number. This is joinmyquiz.com. 667756. Again, a quizzy. 667756. One more time. This is joinmyquiz.com. 667756. Good luck. I'm going to go ahead and start it now. 667756. This is a 10-question one focused on in the Midwest. I just cut the volume down. You still should be able to play. So these questions are created by instructors, teachers, educator. So I think in the future, what you're going to see is updated tests. And for me as an instructor, I'm always trying to elevate. And make people learn and make people grow. And good teachers will do that. So I just completely cut off the volume. I don't want to get a copyright strike or something. But good test generators have good questions that are updated. In this particular platform, I'm still learning about Quizzy. I like it. One of our science teachers told me about it. And we're looking at getting 70% accuracy. Some of you are watching now, joinmyquiz.com. And then the number is 667756. I don't know if you can play and watch at the same time because you're probably on a vertical device, your phone. But I do give a lot of test prep. And I think next time I'll have my phone and then have the computer and then we can look at it together. But we're going to go over the answers. I'm looking for 70% classroom accuracy. And that's a good number that shows that clients, students are understanding this information. And you always want to see your students have success. And I think in a lot of state standardized tests, particularly because I'm in driver's education, and that's what I'm passionate about. You're here because you like driver's ed. or you like my personality, or both. I review these questions in depth. I don't think you're going to see other instructors doing that. They might do on a special occasion, but if you take the time to watch my live verticals, I'm going to go over the actual questions. Now, if I make the questions, then I can show it. This is someone else's, it is public knowledge, but I'm going to make my own questions and then put in my own music. I think if I buy a paid version, I can do that. Then I don't have to worry about copyright violations or someone else's material, but I'm reviewing the answer and giving you reasons why the answer is right or wrong. And I think good instructors take the time to do that. And that's what you want with an instructor. If you missed a question, what did I miss? How did I miss it? One question was spelled wrong. It should have been a D instead of an S, so that was a typo. That one question could have kept you from passing the test. So as an instructor, I would give you the benefit of the doubt if you fail by one or pass by one. But if you fail by 2 or 3, I'm not going to change it. So, but I like these type of assessments because you have to know this information. And clearly, this group didn't know pavement markings, didn't know rules of the right of way. And those are some of the most confusing. Now we're down to 61% class accuracy of this. So this tells me that students are guessing on the questions because I can click on questions. There's a picture of a young lady driving a car. And what percentage of the car accidents are caused by texting and driving? So either you know this question or you don't. So 2 out of 14 got it right. So sometimes on your state test, either you know the questions or you don't. Okay, we're going to go over it. Hold on. All right, Mary, great job. If you can hear me, give me a thumbs up. Okay, great. So again, let's look at numbers. The classroom accuracy was down to 61%. That's a little bit alarming to me. I'm going to pretend I'm my principal. Well, 70% is passing. So this means you're at a lower percentage. If we do the bell-shaped curve, we go from left to right. We have 180. That's player number 1. And then we have one player at the, well, 2 at the bottom, and that's 40%. So looking at this, we have one person at 80%. So I would get 80, 70, 70, 70, 70. Those would be my A's. Or if I really wanted to make a distinction, this would be my A, and this could be A minuses, or this could be an A. It's a B, but I'm curving it. If I curve it, this could the 80 could be an A or a B. But if we really look at it, this 80% is a B, 70% is a C, 60% is a D. So this means that really you guys did not do well. So that's what that tells me if we really want to be honest with the numbers. Some of you care about this, some of you don't. I'm just being honest with you. Now we're going to look at the questions. So what percentage of car accidents are caused by texting and driving? The correct one is 25%. So some of you say, well, how am I supposed to know this? Well, it's probably in your PDF that you get, but a lot of you won't take the time to read it. Malachi, I don't understand your message. Just talk to me afterwards. Thank you, brother. I just want to keep going. So let's stay focused. So 13% of you got this wrong. So in some cases on a test, you got to know the percentage. And if you don't, you're going to try to get the best one. And they're all really close. So if you look at it, 10% is probably too low. 45% is too high. So if you play the odds, you have 30% and 25%. So next, which of the following is a consequence of distracted driving? Consequence means something bad. So if you don't know what that word means, you're like, I don't know what consequence means. Only results in injury. That's not what consequence means. Immediately becoming down to distractions or driving off the road. No. lowers chance from death to an accident. So the best word for this, putting yourself or others in danger, that is a consequence. If you don't learn how to swim and you go on someone's boat, okay, you're putting yourself in danger of dying and others who try to save you. I'm just trying to give you an example. So 81% there, 13%. Yeah, definitely. Is a phone call is a phone call using a hands-free phone safer than a normal cell phone? So now you got to think hands-free versus regular phone. Based on this one, it is no. Why? You still are listening to a phone. Your brain is off driving. Your eyes may be on the road, but your brain is analyzing and listening to the call. So if your brain is not engaged, you're going to crash. So this one is no. So that's 13%. Which of the following is the consequence of distracted driving? There's that key word again, consequence. Your mom gets mad at you? No. Your car's performance is lessened? No. So you should be kicking those two to the side. Now you have 2 questions left. You influence others not to drive recklessly. That doesn't make sense. So the best logical answer, distracted driving becomes a habit. This is correct. So if you get used to being distracted, you're going to drive distracted. And we saw the video, okay, about the pilot and, being aware. If you learn to drive distracted, you will always drive distracted. Your brain won't be 100% of driving. So I like this. 56%. It is legal for drivers to use wireless communication devices. This is no, although I don't know when this test was put together. And you have to look at, for emergency situations, you could make a call. If you fear for your life, if you had an accident, your car is breaking down, you have a right to use the phone. So that's kind of a trick question here. So 56%, it's almost 50, 57 of you got it wrong. 9 of you got it right. More of you got it right than got it wrong. 69%, how might passengers distract you while driving? They're going to tempt you to look in the back seat. Hey, Mary, look at this dog. What dog? Hey, Mary, that's so funny. I know. Okay. And Mary's like, okay. Hey, Mary, look at that cool guy, or look at that nice car. Yeah. So all 3 of those things could happen. Mary's cracking up. Help you drive by pointing out things you don't notice. That could be true sometime. But the key word is distracted. Take your focus off driving, distraction. Make you laugh. Well, how's laughing a distraction? Because you're now laughing instead of, well, I can laugh and focus on the road. You're going to laugh when a dog bites you. It's my dog and she says playing. She won't bite me. Your dog has teeth. I have a dog too. I don't play with my dog like that, because if she thinks it's okay for her to put her teeth on me, I'm going to be bleeding. I'm going to be bleeding. And I don't play with her like that. And she's a lab. Any dog with teeth can bite. So I'm not playing with her like that, because she's going to learn, oh, I can play with him like this. And then I'm bleeding and she's got a half of my skin from my hand and her mouth. Okay. If you have a dog, hold on. Let me stop sharing. If you have a dog, raise your hand. Okay. Mary, do you play with your dog like that? Let your dog kind of, girl, no. You braver than me. I pull a sock, but when she gets near my, that's,
No, my dog has bit me before.
Okay.
It's happened.
My dog.
And my cousin has a scar on his face because he was messing with her when she was eating her food. I know.
I also have a scar on my face. It's like right here by my lip.
You guys are braver than me. I have a scar on my hand because I was kind of playing with her and she got me. And I said, I don't want to play like that. So I respect my dog when she's eating. what does this have to do with driving? Habits. Habits. If a thing, a human, it's not a human. If an animal has teeth, I'm not playing like that. So two of you got the scars on the face. You braver than me. You braver than me. Okay. Which of the following counts as passengers? We see a bag of food. Bruh. A bag of McDonald's is shotgun. Your dog is in the back seat. Your parent is shotgun. Your friend is in the back seat. So 63%. Okay, so the key word is passenger. So they're looking at this. Your dog is in the back seat. So I'm assuming that they're not counting the dog as a passengers are usually human. Can someone look this up on their phone? What is the definition of a passenger? Or put in, is a dog considered a passenger? William, you look it up. Is a dog considered a passenger? We know your parent passenger. We know back seat, friend and back seat passenger. So William, the question is a dog considered a passenger in the back seat? Yes or no?
Yes. Small dogs are permitted to fly in an approved carrier in a cabin. The dog counts as a passenger's carry-on.
Not in a plane, in a car.
Okay, hold on.
See, William trying to get that little gray area. Is the dog considered a passenger? Christina.
Yes, in a car and on the plane. A dog is generally considered a passenger if it's properly secured and accompanies a human traveler.
William, you had the same thing? Bree, you had the same thing? Rita, you had the same thing? Is your dog considered a passenger in the car? Bruh. Okay. But for this particular case, which is the worst form of distraction? Worst form. Talking on the phone, listening to the radio, texting, or talking to the passenger. In this particular question, what is the worst form of driving? Talking on the phone, listening to the radio, texting, or talking to a passenger. This particular case, you guys got it right. It is texting. Next, what are the exceptions to no communication device laws? And we got 81% here reporting an accident and calling for any medical emergency. Not watching a YouTube video, not calling late to go to work. So I'll take 81%. Bonus question, how much money does Mariah carry? All I want, bro, what does it have to do with this? Not really a question, it's kind of a bonus question, 60 million. Okay, type in what you learned, please. Please type in what you learned. I'm gonna show you a couple of videos next. So I thought this review was pretty good. It just showed me that distractions are very critical. And I think this kind of gives us insight into in-car distractions, people talking, eating, texting is by far the worst. If you enjoyed this, give it a thumbs up and watch my videos. Bye.